Granny Evelyn and the Cultist by A.E. Lambanog. The rumors about Granny Evelyn had circulated in our neighborhood for as long as I could remember. People whispered that she was part of a sinister cult, that she dabbled in the dark arts, and that she performed satanic rituals in her old decrepit house. Of course, I had always dismissed these stories as mere gossip, the kind of tales kids tell each other to spook themselves during sleepovers. But one fateful night, my curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to investigate the rumors for myself. The moon hung low in the sky, casting eerie shadows on the streets as I crept through the darkness towards Granny Evelyn's house. My heart thudded in my chest, and the chilly autumn air seemed to claw at my skin. The wind carried whispers of the neighborhood's fears, and they echoed in my ear. I approached the ancient, dilapidated house, the creaking wooden porch signaling my arrival. Peering through a cracked window, I saw a sight that sent shivers down my spine. Granny Evelyn, draped in black robes, stood at the center of a dimly lit room, surrounded by others in a similar attire. They chanted in a language I couldn't understand, and the room seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. As I watched, my heart racing, the chanting reached a crescendo, and Granny Evelyn raised a wicked-looking dagger high above her head. My breath caught in my throat as I realized what they were doing. They were summoning something dark and malevolent. Panic gripped me, but curiosity kept me rooted to the spot. And then it happened. I stumbled over a loose floorboard, my foot hitting the ground with a thud. Granny Evelyn's eyes snapped in my direction, and the chanting abruptly ceased. I knew I had made my first mistake, because it wasn't a summoning they were performing. It was a containment ritual. The room trembled, and a low, guttural growl emanated from the shadows. Something monstrous and nightmarish began to emerge from the darkness, its eyes glowing with malevolence. I turned to run, but it was too late. The beast lunged forward, its hideous form tearing through the cultists. It was a creature straight out of my worst nightmares, and I could hardly believe my eyes. Granny Evelyn, now heavily injured, reached out to me, her voice quivering with desperation. "Close the gates!" she cried. I sprinted for the exit, leaving the gate wide open in my panic. Fear surged through me, paralyzing my thoughts. I couldn't comprehend the gravity of my mistake at the time. I needed to escape, to get as far away from that monstrous entity as possible. As I burst onto the streets, the air thick with the scent of death and chaos, I couldn't bring myself to turn back and close the gate. My second mistake. It seemed like a trivial detail amidst the horror, but I would soon learn that it was anything but. The gate, it turned out, had an enchantment, a form of secondary security designed to keep the beast contained, but it only worked when it was closed. The creature, now unleashed upon our world, roamed the neighborhood, bringing chaos and terror in its wake. I had two chances to prevent the nightmare that followed, but fear and ignorance had clouded my judgment. As I stood there, watching in horror as the beast's monstrous form vanished into the night, I knew that the consequences of my actions would haunt me for the rest of my life.